Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about a very trendy, I would say, question, which is web development dying? Before we get into it though, I want to make sure to say a big shout out to some of these subscribers here. Thanks for your questions, comments. I love the community we are building. Also, I'm going to do a really big giveaway at 100K, so stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button for more tech and coding related videos. I've been getting asked so many questions around, should I even get into web development? Is it dying? Will there be a future? Everything's becoming automated, different things like that, to the point that it's actually pretty concerning. A lot of people are wondering if they should even get into web development. Before I give you kind of the background as to if it's dying or not, I'm going to give you the answer straight up, which is it's kind of dying. And I'll get more into that very shortly here. Before we get into exactly if web development is dying, I want you to come on a journey with me. Think about from the moment you woke up this morning, the alarm that woke you up. Did you check your email right away? What about your social media? What about your coffee machine? Do you have that programmed, an app on your phone to start that as well? Do you have your lighting on your phone, different apps for that? How does your morning look and how much technology is used throughout your morning to make it seamless? I know for me, I always am on the Sonos app to schedule and play different music throughout the day. My lights, my blinds actually are even through my phone. Everything I do is pretty much automated through my phone, and I rely on this technology heavily. And I'm sure I'm not alone in saying this to some different degrees. I'm sure we all have automated our lives to make them easier from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to bed through technology. So as you can see very quickly through this example, technology touches all areas of our lives, not only currently, but also too, it's building such a huge part of our future. And the people building this technology are not going anywhere. The roles may change and be altered, but at the end of the day, the demand for technology and better technology is continuing to grow rapidly. In fact, since I believe it's 2019, web development has grown and is expected to continue to grow in demand up to 8%, which is much faster than the growth of the average job. And if you search just web developer roles, you will see how in demand they are. The salaries are continuing to increase, the demand is continuing to increase. But why then is this question that keeps on coming up, is web development dying? Well, of course, it's because there are more website builders coming out that you can quickly put up a website, put together a website in a matter of seconds, which in my opinion is amazing, and they have their place and the need for it is very much there too. But does it mean that it's going to take over all web developer jobs? Definitely not. I think one of the biggest things that this question needs to really investigate and to uncover is what web developers exactly do. And I think where people get confused is when they think web developers, they think of these static websites that website builders already produce. But web developers do a ton more than that. Think about different e-commerce sites, think about different CMS sites. A lot of times, yes, it's great to have, these pre-existing out-of-the-box website builders to build different websites. And as I mentioned, there's definitely a need for them. But there's also a need for larger clients, larger pieces of software that need to be customized. I want you to think of the government and the tools and software they use. That all needs to be customized. They're not using out-of-the-box different kind of builders. Think about different airlines, the websites, the software they build, the booking systems, that all needs to be customized and will continue to always need to be customized. It's growing and growing. The databases need to be managed. The front end is constantly changing. The back end, the servers, all aspects of it is just kind of this running machine that is constantly being updated. New features are being added to it. And it's not something that an out-of-the-box solution can solve. As technology and the demand for technology continues to evolve and change, so will web developers too. So when I say kind of to web development dying, what I mean by that is different kind of web development might be dying that website builders are taking over. For sure, there's no denying that. But that means it's ready to evolve and grow. Web development can and will not die for the near, I don't think in our lifetime anyways, that's my opinion. until the robots like are doing everything for us, but then every job will die. But until then, and even then, I'm sure we'll still have web development. It's not going anywhere. It's constantly changing. Even if you look at the history of the World Wide Web, which let's take a second and do that. So you can see here from this chart, it was 1965 that the first ever wide area network was established. Then we move on to 1969, where the first ever internet message was sent. Then we move a little further to 1990, where Tim Berners-Lee invents HTML. Which is actually kind of crazy when you think about it, that it's only been around for 30 years. Move forward to 1991, the World Wide Web goes mainstream, and move forward now to 2018, and over 4 billion internet users are around the globe. Moving forward to 2020, there are 4.66 billion active internet users worldwide, which is pretty crazy. It's actually 59.5% of the entire worldwide population are internet users. So as you can see, things are changing and growing so rapidly. I mean, 30 years ago, HTML was just being invented. Like, what? It's crazy when you really think about it, how quickly this is changing and evolving. So to say web development is dying, I think is completely incorrect, but it is changing, it's evolving, and parts of it will die off as new parts become more and more in demand. And essentially, that's what being in tech is all about. Whether you're a web developer, you call yourself a software developer, you call yourself a front-end developer, back-end, full stack, whatever kind of developer you specialize in, all these roles, not just web development, are continuing to be some parts more automated to make room for us to develop new skills, to work on more challenging and technical things. And if you are someone, a technologist who wants to grow with technology, you yourself need to constantly be learning and growing. No, I'm not saying you have to be spending your evenings and weekends studying, but being open-minded to the changes that are coming our way, wanting to learn new things, whether it be AI, machine learning, blockchain, so many different things out there. Just being open to it, open-minded, and not being, closed-minded in the sense of, well, this is what we do, this is how we've always done it, and this is how we're going to do it. Because then, yes, of course, you're going to die off with web development, and that's where the kind of comes in. It's not dying, it's just changing. So going back to the question, is web development dying? As I mentioned, kind of. It's evolving, it's changing, just like everything else, as technology does too. It would be crazy to think that web development wouldn't continue to change as well. Different roles in web development will continue to become more and more in demand, some less demand, and I think embracing the technology that's automating parts of it is really key. For me, I love using website builders when it's for things such as building a quick portfolio or putting my business online or helping out a friend. It saves so much time and it saves so much work behind the scenes, and if it's not going to be scaling, then why not? It's amazing. But for different things, especially for bigger companies that need to be scaling, growing, handling a lot of private, large data, that is where the customization comes in. That's where the developers come in, and just embracing the different technology that comes with it. So if you are someone who's considering getting into web development, I would say yes, go for it. It's filled with opportunity. I mean, it's currently growing at a way quicker pace than any other industry, or many other roles, I should say, are. As I mentioned, 8%. It's continuing to grow, predicted to grow 8% in demand. I believe 2029 is the statistic, and it's not going anywhere. So if you are someone who wants to explore web development, go for it. Jump right in, because it's going to be a great career for you as long as you are in the mindset of continuing to grow and evolve with technology. Thank you all for watching this video. I hope you found it very useful and insightful as to answering your questions around, is this profession dying or is it going to continue to be around? If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more tech and coding related videos, and make sure to leave in the comments other videos you want to see, and I will talk to you all soon. Thanks everyone.